Hi everyone, here is, as promised, is a quick overview of the exam. I just posted a Q&A that shows basically sort of a discussion of the kinds of things I was looking for each question. It's pretty comprehensive, but it's for each question. It kind of shows the different topics and areas that you could have covered. So that doesn't mean if you didn't cover all of these that that wasn't adequate enough. But if you hit most of the points, that's what would get you a reasonable grade. So please take a look at this and review it. If you have any questions, let me know. But it provides a lot of background. It was an interesting case question, interesting data on internet radio as well that I know that I've used for a while, and it seems like some of you have used as well based on your answers to some of the questions. The other thing that I post that I want to show you too is some examples of good, better, best in terms of exams. So here's an example of an exam that was submitted that this person didn't do very well, and that's because there was very little meat to their answers, and essentially this is a grade that and actually I was pretty generous in giving this person a 75. I mean, considering I gave you a week to read the case, look at the presentation, and do any kind of supplemental research that you wanted, and this is all that this particular person did, was kind of disappointing in this case, and that's not something that's going to do well for you. I mean, there's just one sentence, two sentence answers. You had up to 3 hours, a couple hours to do the exam. I would have expected a little more than this. It's way too generic. There's no support, no detail. So that's would be an example of something that really wouldn't meet the grade. Here's an example of a good question, a good exam. This one for this particular individual netted them and 92 actually. So that's a really good. Actually, that's probably the good, better. Well, not enough. Better and best. This would be an example of a best. So what I tried to do is I did correct grammar and spelling. I'm assuming that since this is a proper undergraduate class and it's in marketing, that's something you pay attention to. There are a lot of tools that should be available there. And then I provided comments on the content as well. In this case, this person did a really good job. They had supporting documentation and research that helped validate and drive their discussion and analysis forward. And when there are areas or things that I thought might have been augmented and used, I mentioned those as well. So this is an example of what I would consider a really good exam. Someone that did well, had prepared, and it was written well, not an easy read basically, and included a lot of supplemental information, which is what I'm literally looking for, an analysis, not just a regurgitation of the facts in the case, because you and I both know what those were and the information that was there. So you see there's just all kinds of interesting references that they had built in and put into the exam. And if you look at my comments at the end, and actually here's another thing that I absolutely love to see, is when people make references to content. In this case, the person said Pandora is able to apply the 4 criteria for market segmentation: substantiality, and identifiability, measurability, accessibility, and responsiveness. I mean, that's perfect. That means you're paying attention and using and integrating content in the course. Use some personal experience. So that's, I mean, you couldn't get any better than that. That's pretty good. And then a third example here, I think this one's somewhere in between. Also very good effort, and 89 by this particular person. Again, the thing that gets you better grades is using information, supplemental research, and content that's covered in the course, and integrating those. And then I this one I had to do very little correcting in terms of content, grammar, spelling, that type of thing. Just a couple of little wordsmithing. So those are the two latter examples. Are good work. The first one needed to have some improvement for sure. So I wanted to share that with you really quick. Review that. It's not too late to go back if you have any questions about the exam or things that you thought you should have been graded differently. Feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to review it and discuss it. That's not a problem at all. Thanks.